Okay, so it's live now.
Oh, yeah, they were 7 a.m. in the morning. All the bank was about my house.
Did you guys hear me? It's live now. So whenever you decide to start, it's ready to go.
All right, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for Monday, June 1st, 6:30 p.m. Let the record reflect that it is 6:40. And Madam Clerk, will you call the roll? Hello? Clerk Dugan on? Hello? Hello?
And someone maybe call Mary Kay because she's in the call, but I don't know.
I'm calling her right now.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. This is Elizabeth. I'm trying to call her right now.
So I don't want my face to be seen. Then I hit stop video. Okay.
Okay, she didn't answer. Calling her again. Hey. Okay, because we are starting the meeting. Okay, can and now we could see you, and now there's nothing. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Derek right now.
He's on the call. Is he still on? Let me see. Oh, shoot. No, he got-
6:40 p.m. Okay, will do. I'm going to put you on speakerphone then. Okay, I'm going to put you on speakerphone and put you up to my phone. All right, go ahead.
And Giovanni's with me too.
Yeah, so you are on speakerphone now.
Okay. Mayor Rogers has called the meeting to order at 6:40 p.m. Trustees present. Trustee Denton.
Present.
Trustee Steve.
Present.
I'm hearing that. Thank you. Trustee House.
Present.
Trustee Brown.
Present.
Trustee Holmes. Did I hear Trustee Holmes?
Trustee Holmes, unmute your thing. I can see the mute is on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Present.
Okay. Trustee Henry.
Present.
Okay. Mayor Rogers. Myself. Village Attorney Murphy.
Here.
Present. Listener, Mr. Smith.
Here.
Present. Okay. So I'll try and figure out what's going on here. The next item, the mayor wanted to address the board.
No. We're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Hello? Okay. I pledge of allegiance
to the flag
Of the
of
United
the
States
United States of
of
America
America,
and to the republic
republic for which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
for all.
and if Trustee Steve, if you lead us in prayer tonight.
Okay, everybody bow their heads. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, God bless us with a successful meeting. Bless us to be peaceful and keep it calm and deal with the duty or the reality and the responsibility of this village. We ask this in the name of all your righteous servants. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is general announcements, and I'm going to start with my announcement. First of all, I'd like to say that, can everyone hear me? Okay. First of all, I'd like to say that I will not be here for the whole meeting. I'm meeting at 7 o'clock with some of the additional law enforcement agencies that I have requested for their assistance to come here in town. Also, there's going to be additional fire department help from other municipalities. We have received intel information that there may be some severe rioting or protesting tonight with looting and possible threats of fires. So I've asked for outside assistance right away, and myself and the chief was going to have to leave pretty quickly. But one thing I wanted to say is that last night was a very disturbing night, and we had kind of anticipated what was going to go on, but we didn't anticipate it to the degree that it would the way it affected our village. But we were ahead of things. We had outside assistance from agencies, and we made several arrests that included felony burglary arrests, mob action, criminal trespass to property, felony looting charges, felony burglary charges, theft, and also with a number of arrests, we had 15 arrests. And these arrests, these offenders were from as far away as Iowa, Chicago, neighboring suburbs, and also, which is also kind of disturbing, a number of Dalton residents. They included adults, teenagers, and juveniles. We've also seized 4 cars, and with the charges that we have, we are going forth to seize those cars. All of those cars maintain some of the evidence and some of the proceeds from some of these burglaries and some of the businesses that were looted. Some of the businesses that got targeted was AutoZone, Dressed to Impress, Emporium Liquors, Walgreens, Family Dollar, and I think there was 3 more, which I don't have here listed. But we plan to pursue these criminal charges with these offenders as far as we can go. Now, we've been monitoring a lot of the information that's out there, and we've received some intel information on some things that are planned for tonight. We're going to discuss that with some of our agencies that we've talked to today that's going to assist us tonight, and also in a open formation, if you will, but also in a covert situation. So we plan on staying ahead of this situation tonight that we anticipated on happening, which may include looting, fire threat, protesting. We've taken the initiative to block off some of the streets to stop the chases and some of the escapes that some of these offenders used last night. And we plan on maintaining calm and making the city safe. I want to congratulate and I want to say thank you for all the work that the police department did last night. I was out with the police department till 6 o'clock this morning. And it was from one location to the other. There was a number of phone calls that came in. They caused diversion. Shots fired on one side of the town. We get there, there's nothing there. Domestic on the other side, we get there, there's nothing there. But those were diversion tactics that was used to draw the police to a certain area of the village, and then they targeted those other areas that to loot and to break and cause damage and mayhem. So I just wanted to mention that, and then I'd like to have Trustee Jason House take over the meeting. But Chief, I want you to add whatever you needed to add so we can get to this meeting. Chief, can you hear me?
Your mic, turn your mic off.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayor. I'm sorry. I was talking to some more additional help that just came in my office. So I missed the last thing you said. I'm sorry.
No, I just filled everybody in on what was going on and the approach we're going to take tonight. And if you had anything additional for you to go ahead with it so we can get to our meeting and make sure we get things planned.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the mayor, he read off a list of the arrestees that we had. And as he stated, we had 15 people that were housed here and neighboring agencies, 4 vehicles. One of the businesses that you forgot, Mayor, was JJ Food and Liquor. I think with all the businesses that we have in town, just to have 7 that got hit, I think that's a very good job with the manpower that we have. Everyone knows that our numbers are not where they should be, but we did what we had to do to make it through the night. We got some additional help this evening, and so that would help out greatly. I just ask the citizens that's watching, if you have any people in your family, tell them not to loot and tear up their own community. We've got a lot of people from the community that we caught. And some of those people I talked to once we had them locked up while I was out here early all day yesterday until the wee hours of the morning. So we just ask for your prayers. Pray for our fire and police that we make it through this time. And that's about it. I think on the agenda I got for to be passed for the task force. I think all the trustees was in agreement. And outside of that, I don't have anything.
Okay, I'd just like to add one more thing. Please tell your children to stay home. And yesterday, I observed 3. They had to be no more than 11 or 12 years, maybe not even 12 years old, maybe 10 to 11 years old, that had taken a large box and filled it with some items from Family Dollar. And they were struggling walking down the street with it. So I observed them, I pulled over and I asked them what they were carrying. And they admitted that they took it from there. And so that was recovered. And I had a long talk with them, didn't talk about jail with them. I talked about them staying away and being good residents, young residents. So please tell your children to stay home, not to get in those situations where they're arrested and just because they see an open door, go in it. Walgreens was hit very hard last night, and a lot of the medication was stolen and taken. And I had 2 calls today from residents that said, Mayor, I don't have any transportation. I need to get my medication, and they're not filling any prescriptions. Well, I didn't know if that was true or not, but I tend to think of it. But the Walgreens also in Calumet City was hit very hard, and CVS was hit very hard for the drug products and medications. So I'm just asking, I'm reaching out to all those that are listening here. Please tell your children to stay home. Do not get involved in this rioting. Do not get involved in this protesting that is violent and certainly not the looting. And I'm going to also ask the residents, if you see something, please call the police so the police can get there and get ahead of this situation. And hopefully we'll pray that we'll have a peaceful and restful night. So Trustee House, if you would take over from this point, And the chief and I was gonna have to leave and be at this meeting here in 5 minutes.
Okay, Mayor, I just got one question for you. Go.
Yes.
It's just about the blockades for the expressway. So we did block off the expressway and then also blockades on Sibley.
I'm not sure exactly where they all went, but that sounds right. Hello? Trustee Henyard?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Did you hear? Okay, so you saying we basically did, so no one can enter into our city, right?
That's not true. There's other alternative routes that they
Well,
can take.
I'm saying from the E-way, from the expressway.
I'm not sure exactly if they, which entrances and exits that were blocked, but there's still, they may have to go into, go east to turn around to come back west or vice versa.
Mayor, if I can chime in, I know exactly what exits we got blocked off.
Okay, go ahead, Chief.
Trustee, we got Sibley, all exits on Sibley are blocked off on the east side and west side. We have our ramps blocked and Cal City has their ramps blocked. So no traffic coming off of the Bishop Ford can go westbound. The most traffic that we have is coming eastbound from Harvey. And if they set their blockades back up, then that will limit that. Last night, they set a blockade up at the ending of our jurisdiction and the beginning of theirs, which kept all eastbound traffic coming through. So if they do that, Sibley will be pretty quiet unless they come off of 142nd or as far as 130th.
Okay, Chief, why was we so late on acting?
Acting on what?
So late on reacting. Like I know I called you in regards to blocking the expressway off yesterday, like all the other communities was doing.
Well, resources were limited. The state police was initially supposed to come out and block the expressways for us. Upon they got into chases, as they were chasing major felony people that were looting and took major items. One officer got almost ran over, so they were giving chase on that. So all the manpower and law enforcement is limited. So when that kind of curbed us, because we don't have enough manpower to put on the expressway at that time when we're trying to secure the businesses. So that's why. So afterwards, I talked to the director and we got in contact with IDOT because the state police, they're still stressed thin because they normally should be blocking those off for us, but they assisted us with IDOT trucks. So we got those down on the E-way, blocking them off right now. And then we got a unit down there with them as well because cars were going around the IDOT truck, driving up the grass to get on the ramp. So we do have a unit down there assisting in case they do try to go on the grass.
Okay, well, good job, by the way, too. All the residents gave y'all nothing but good praise that y'all was on top of it. So I want to say good job to the police department and also good job, Chief. Last question, Mayor, and I know you're leaving. Is it a reason why we blocked off, what is it, Chicago Road, and I think that's Greenwood, because that's like houses down there? Is it a reason for that, Mayor? Hello?
I don't know if can you hear me, Trustee?
Can hear you.
Okay. If he comes back on, he can give you his answer. But one of the things that I do know, a lot of people that we were catching, they would have their vehicles and they would give chase. So that's just to help the police in cutting off certain main arteries because they were flying down Greenwood. When they hit Family Dollar yesterday, it was multiple cars. We did catch one car with 4 subjects, 2 females, 2 males, with a lot of proceeds in their vehicles. So we were just trying to find other avenues to help the police and cutting off some of those main arteries going down the north and south streets into the neighborhoods was helping overall.
Okay, thanks again. Y'all be safe out there. Thank you.
Okay.
I think the mayor may have left, so I'm gonna continue going. We're still on general announcements. So I want to see were there any additional announcements to be made. If none, I have.
Yeah, I have announcements. I'm sorry. I got announcements. And then also, Mary Kay, we don't have to vote on Mayor Pro Tem. Or is Murphy, you on here, Attorney Murphy?
Yes, you can vote. You should vote on it. If there's
Exactly.
any objection to House,
No, it's no objective, but I just want to make sure y'all do things the right way.
I think you can just do a simply all in favor for trustee House as pro tem.
Well, I want to make a motion to make Mayor Pro Tem Jason House, Trustee Jason House.
I second. Did they hear me?
Is Clerk Dugan? So I think we lost our clerk again.
Somebody got the TV on. If y'all can mute your TV in the back or the computer in the back, you can hear the echo.
Oh, okay, let me close the door. Hold up.
Okay, we're gonna try one.
Just call the roll yourselves, so as not to slow things down.
Okay, I'll do roll on that. Hey, Liz, while we're doing roll, would you mind just trying to catch Clerk Dugan again and see if she's still with us? Okay, in terms of calling the roll on Mayor Pro Tem, I'm gonna go with Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House is aye. Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
And Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay, 6 ayes. That motion carries. We're gonna move forward. We're still on general announcements. So I'll ask again, any general announcements for good of community or the group?
Yeah, I got one. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I got like 4. So okay.
Let's do Trustee Holmes and then Trustee Henyard.
Yeah.
Well, announcement is just to acknowledge the police department for fine work. But in saying that, the Dalton Police Department and the mayor wasn't the only person out there. I, as a trustee that got elected, was out there 2 days, following the individuals, taking license plates and passing those numbers on to the Dalton Police Department. And I'm asking that our trustees, our board members, we can come together and do the same.
Trustees, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Clerk.
I'm sorry, I did not hear. I heard the motion to appoint a mayor pro tem. Can you back up a moment? I'm having technical difficulties, so please bear with me, as I'm sure you are experiencing as well. So please, before you move forward, so we can preserve the record. Mayor has absent himself. There was a motion. As I heard, you could not hear me. So please bear with me for one moment. Is there a motion to appoint
Clerk Dugan, we had the motion was Trustee Henyard and the second was Trustee Denton.
That motion passed. You can proceed with general announcements. Yeah, that Mary Kay, that motion passed.
Please stop. Tell me to stop. Is there a motion to appoint a mayor pro tem?
That motion was Trustee Henyard made it.
Thank you, trustee. I'm still off again. Motion to appoint a trustee pro tem, Trustee Henyard, to appoint
Trustee House.
Thank you, Trustee House. Please bear with me. Motion to appoint Trustee House as Mayor Pro Tem. My phone is off. I'm hoping you're still hearing me. Please let me know if you don't. Second by.
It was seconded by Trustee Denton.
Thank you, sir. Please bear with me. Motion to appoint trustee House as mayor pro tem by motion by trustee Henry, by trustee Denton. All in favor? Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Can we vote already?
Yes.
You may, but I didn't hear it. Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye again.
Thank you. Trustee Henry.
Aye.
Okay, trustee Henry, carry on. And I made apologies.
Okay. All right, we were in the general announcements, and Trustee Holmes, you were had your announcements.
Yeah, just to end it, to all due respect, we board members who got elected, and we must protect this village. You know, we have a police department and mayor. As I stated, I was out there, but I'm going to ask that our board members, you know, if you all want to get together, we can do the same in numbers. We can work together. We can track these individuals down too, send a message too. We're the board members here, elected by the people. And guess what? We ain't standing for it neither for you coming through here. You know what I mean? If you get to Dalton, just turn around. It's simple as that. And those residents that stay out here, you know, come on. This is your home. Let's not destroy it. Not at all. So if you all want to work together, we can patrol out here too. I mean, we got elected. Let's patrol. Let's do what we got to do. I mean, ain't no big eyes and no little U's in Dalton. We are a unit. We should stick together as a unit. We should work together as a unit. We should protect this village as a unit and do what we got to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Holmes. Trustee Henyard.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I got several announcements today. First, I just want to remind everybody, coronavirus is still here. Please wear your face mask, wear your gloves, and also protect yourself. A lot of people are not doing so. I see a lot of people going in and out of stores without masks. I know we stated before, it is law. Remember that. So please, please, please wear your mask. I'm gonna give you a little update. COVID numbers as of June 1st, 2020 for the village of Dawson is as follows. The number of people that got tested was 2,426 people. So that's a good thing, meaning more you guys are starting to go get tested. And I encourage my community to please go get tested. The number of cases that's tested positive is 362 people. The medical examiner reported one more death as of May 25th, which brings the death total to 12 for the village of Dalton as it relates to COVID. Again, you guys, safety, safety, safety. If you could, by all means, stay home, but wear those face masks, please. Next, I wanted to address the chamber. My question was, I guess, I don't know if it's to the clerk, the mayor's not here, so I was just wondering why wasn't the chamber on the agenda this evening? I know last board meeting, we all agreed that we would rescind that ordinance as it relates to business owners getting charged $100 to join the chamber. Can anyone answer me that? Is that Jason or Mary Kay? Trustee House?
I can chime in. I didn't know if the clerk had any comment on that or if I. Okay. So I did have a discussion with Clerk Dugan about it because the anticipation was that we have it on the agenda. We do have to get the actual ordinance that we originally passed, have that adjusted. So I have to get in touch with Attorney Murphy to have that on the agenda for our next board meeting. However, there is a moratorium at this time that is already in place on all payments. As we mentioned, we do not want to assess any fees to the business owners. So anybody that's going for their license fee, which was going to be part of my comments as well, your village license fee will be $100 cheaper than it was last year. And if you're asked to pay more than that dollar amount, then please notify the mayor or any of the board members, because your village sticker or your business license is to be $100 cheaper, as there's a moratorium on the Chamber of Commerce. And at our next voting meeting, there will be on the agenda the revised ordinance for us to remove that on a permanent basis.
I don't know if the board can hear me. Please let me know if you can.
We can hear you now, Clerk Dugan.
Yes, we just add that we explained this at the last board meeting, that there will be no, as of this year, there will not be any further charges to the businesses. And if the board, as it sees fit, wants to terminate that $100 fee, that would be fine. It would not come into effect next year because we're not charging this year. So next year would be the time where the board would want to be proactive, and if it sees fit, not charge that $100 fee. No licenses are being charged this year, as I explained last.
Okay, Trustee Henry, to answer your question.
Yes, yes. The next thing is I wanted to bring light to some things that maybe you guys haven't noticed, or maybe something you did. When JR was on the line, he did call me out my name, and I just wanted to bring attention to that. And it's for the record, Mary Kay. The president called me a bitch. So I feel that should no board member or woman be called out of their name or disrespected. We are elected officials, and I understand some things we might say that people may not like, but at the same time, it's still business. You should have yourself accordingly. So I wanted to put that on the record. My next thing is, I want to say I'm thankful that you guys are being active to the situation as it relates to the looting. I'm happy to see that everybody are trying to work together. When in the past we were so divided, but we are, to me, somehow, some way, uniting as we try to fight this in our community. But I want to just say we need to be a little bit more proactive than reactive when making decisions as a board. Normally we make a decision after the chaos can happen. I wish that we can just basically get on one accord when it's happening. We can talk and basically make a plan before it hits our neighborhood, because there's a lot of things we could have prevented before it got to a certain point. I just want to point that out. My last comment is for the business owner, fresh start. They said they contacted Elizabeth in order to set up an appointment to be basically on the agenda to take care of their business with the board as far as give us a proposal. Basically, they said you guys ignored them and y'all said y'all get to it when y'all can. So my question is, or my statement is, Mary Kay, I'm asking for this to be on the agenda for the next board meeting for discussion for the board. That business owner will give a proposal in doing so we can hear them out as board members, because I don't understand why no one's talking to them as they want to come and put something in our community. So I'm asking for that to be on the next agenda. End of my statement. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for a moment. I want to see if there's any. I want to see if there was any response to Trustee Henyard's statement. There being
I don't know
none.
if you can hear me.
I can hear you now, Clerk.
Sorry, I'm trying to get visual, but it's not happening. But I do hear you. I hope you hear me. So that would be 300 West Sibley, if I'm understood from Trustee Henyard, or please confirm.
That is 300 West Sibley. Clerk Dugan, your connection is coming through kind of garbled, so we can hear you, but it's kind of strained.
Well, I can't see. I can see you, but I know you. I don't think you can see me. And actually, at this point, I hope you cannot see me. But 300 West Trustee Henyard. One clarification.
300 West Sibley. It is called Fresh Start Produce. It's a grocery store that want to come to our town. They want to do a proposal for next board meeting to the board.
Yes, ma'am. I believe that is on the actual agenda this evening.
Okay, well, they are on the agenda. So Clerk Henyard, you may want to elaborate when we get to that portion as well to make sure that we have clarity. I'm sorry, not Clerk. Trustee Henyard, if you want to elaborate as we get to that portion. It is a little bit further on the agenda as well. Okay. Hearing no other statement, trustee Steve, I think you had an announcement.
Yes, yes. I want, Giovanni has put a new COVID link on the website. So if you go to the vldalton.org, at the top, it has a red bar. It has COVID-19. It has up-to-minute updates, resource available. It's just a good resource link. If you go to the vldalton.org and look at the red bar right at the top dealing with COVID-19, she keeps information fresh and resources are fresh on that. So I just wanted to let people know that.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, may I please speak?
Yes, trustee Brown.
Okay. For the gentleman that wants to bring the Fresh Start, can I get some background information on him or the group? Can I get some information on these guys that's willing to come here to present their the proposal for the Fresh Start? Can I get some information, background information on these guys?
Okay. Are you asking for that information this evening, or are you asking for it to be attached to the next agenda?
I want it before the next meeting, if I can.
Yes,
Trustee Henry?
I have no problem with, yes, I have no problem with that. I know last board meeting, I was trying to get your questions answered when they was here on the live. That was the purpose of it, but yes. And then I also forward you their phone number. You guys can talk yourselves. That way we all are on one accord when we come to this meeting. No problem.
Thank you, trustee.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I think that concludes the general announcements. We're going to go at the early citizens address, which are limited to the items of discussion on the agenda. So I'm going to ask Giovanni, do you have any questions on there? Please read all questions off. If the questions are not on the pertaining to some of the agenda items, I will defer those to the general citizens address at the end of the meeting.
All righty, Trustee House. We have 64 viewers that were watching the meeting, and we only have a few questions. I'll go ahead and read those now.
Okay.
The first question was asked, what is the license fee for? They wanted some further explanation on the license fee.
The license fee, I'm assuming they were mentioning the business license. So we were discussing business licenses that are charged to business owners within the village of Dalton. That every year there is an annual license fee that is assessed to business owners, and that's the fee that we were referencing. To my memory, the license fee last year was approximately $400. This year they should pay about $300.
Okay, the next question that we have is regarding the emergency order and the curfew. It says, is the curfew still in effect? And why are all businesses not closed at 9 p.m.? Also, since businesses have been affected, what is the chamber going to do to support businesses during this time?
I'm going to ask if you can hold that question till the end citizens address. That one is not specifically listed in one of the agenda items, but we will answer it at the closing citizens address. So if you can bring that question back during that portion, please.
Okay. The next question that we have, this might also be reserved. It's about businesses in the neighborhood. I'll still read it. Do we think that the businesses in the neighborhood that were affected will reopen and remain open?
Okay, yeah, please hold that one till the end as well, but we will do our best to answer that question. And any questions that we may be unable to answer, I want to make sure that I ask you to forward those to the mayor and ask that maybe he do an announcement that can be done through either YouTube or some of our public access channels so that people can have access to an answer as quickly as possible.
Okay. All right, the last question, it's not an agenda item, but it's also referencing what Mayor Rogers discussed earlier. It's a question about if there were any looting of homes in the village. So I can also save that one for the end and forward that to Mayor Rogers as well.
Okay, yeah, we don't have any, I think we took the chief off as well. I think that would have been a good one to have him on, other issues. Okay, so we'll hold that one, and if we can answer to the best that we have with maybe some of the staff here, we will do so. And if not, we'll ask the mayor to do an address for the residents that may be.
Okay, all right, that's all we have for now.
Okay, so with that being the case, we're gonna go to the village clerk's report. Clerk Dugan?
Yes, trustee, bear with me for one moment here. I would
I
ask
saw a video of you a moment ago. I know you're getting closer.
too close, I'm afraid. My apologies. Bear with me. Okay. Per the agenda, I am asking for approval of the minutes of the last two meetings. Bear with me. If I'm still here, if I'm not, let me know.
Oh, you're still here.
Okay, maybe not a good thing. Thank you, everyone. Bear with me. I would ask for a motion to approve the village board minutes for the meeting of the committee of the whole on Monday, May 18th, 2020, and also the village board meeting for the following regular board meeting. I have to approve it, I appreciate it. And I apologize for the confusion.
Okay, I move that we approve the minutes for the meetings of May 4th, 2020 regular board meeting and May 18th, 2020 committee of the whole.
Second.
Okay, it's being moved and seconded. Any discussion? Being none, Clerk Dugan, please call the roll.
Yes. Okay. The confusion here, may I have a clarification on the motion by?
The motion was by Trustee House, second was Trustee Brown.
Thank you. On the motion to approve minutes of May 4th and May 18th, board meeting minutes. Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee. Trustee Steve.
You're on mute, Trustee.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. My apologies.
Okay, and next up is the communications. Clerk Dugan, any communications for your report?
There, all the communications that we have been coming in from the residents regarding the closure today of the village payment center and the status of the village stickers.
Okay, you can't, I partially heard you. Did I hear status of the payment center and status of the village stickers?
Yes, sir. And the payment center was closed today. As I have been informed, we had an employee who was trusted, who was tested.
Okay, we completely lost Clerk Dugan. All right, I see you pop back up there.
Right.
Madam Clerk,
I hear you.
we hear you now. Okay. Well, Clerk Dugan, if we can, we're gonna go to the next report for now, and if you come back on with us, we'll pick up on the communications.
I see you. That will be fine. Thank you.
Okay. Next thing up, we have our engineers report, and I see that we have our engineer Ron. Are you available for your report, sir?
Yes, I am, Mayor Pro Tem. Good evening, trustees, Madam Clerk, and all the residents who are viewing and listening. You have a copy of the summary of the project status and the grant funding opportunities for the Village of Dalton was emailed to everyone today. Just to update the village on grant opportunities, the DCO grant under the Rebuild Illinois program. There are 2 grants that are currently available for application. One is the Fast Track Public Infrastructure, which is due on June 15th. And the second one is the Public Infrastructure Grant, which is due on June 30th. I will be working with the administration on projects that we can submit for grant funding. And another item I have in my report is the CDBG project. On the plans and requirements right now. Once done, I'll be working with Matt to go over each section of roadway and the cost estimate for each road. So, but we plan on going out to bid for these streets to be resurfaced this summer. That concludes my report, and I will entertain any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for our engineer? Okay, hearing no questions. Thank you for the update. And we're gonna go right into committee reports. Starting off with the Finance Committee report. Last week, we were scheduled to have our Finance Committee. We did have all of the Finance Committee members present. We did have an issue with connecting with the live feed. So in lieu of doing the meeting and airing it, we really wanted to make sure that we were able to have it where residents can see it real time and provide input. So we postponed that to this week, Wednesday, which is June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. We do have a lot of important issues. As we know, there's the COVID virus, and now with all of the things going on, it's even more critical. Will be a big emphasis or look at the village's cash flow, which has been impacted and will be. As I spoke with Chris, who everybody knows and loves as our finance team, we appear to have enough cash flow to make it through the month of July. However, we want to be forward thinking because there could be big hurdles on the horizon beyond that time frame. So those will be some of the things that we will talk about. So we invite everybody to watch, give your feedback, have your questions answered. And I want to thank any residents that do chime in with phone calls, text messages. It's always great to know that we're all working toward the similar goal. Having said that, that will conclude the finance report. Next up is the housing report for Trustee Brown.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'll be reading off April's numbers since I didn't have them at last board meeting. April's numbers, as is sales, 11. Number of board ups, we had 1. Sale inspections, we had 7. And rental licenses, we had 131. For the month of May, as is, we had 17. Board ups, 1. Sale inspections, 15. And rental license were 96. And that completes my reports for April and May.
Thank you very much. The next report up is our police and fire, Trustee Holmes.
Well, with police reports, we're going to report that at a later date because we've been dealing so much out of the streets now with some of the looting. I'll go into fire. On the fire, we had 71 fires. Overexposure, ruptures, we only had 4. Rescue, emergency medical service, we had 1,531. Hazard condition, we only had 1, and that'll end my report.
Okay, thank you for that report. We're going to do in combination Public Works and the Melanie Fitness Center report. Trustee Steve.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I want to, for my Public Works report, everybody know we got hit with some huge rain over this past week. Yeah, I mean, a whole lot of rain. I think we had maybe 4 inches in 45 minutes. So it was record rain that we received, and we got unusual rain. But I want Matt Stacy, their superintendent, to explain to residents how it works, because a lot of people may think that the Public Works can just cut a switch on and off to stop the flooding. And when I called him, when I had all that, because my street flooded, he said the MWRD pipes had to catch up with the much water. So if you can, Matt Stacy, Superintendent Matt Stacy, could you explain to the residents and the board members how that works? And when we get that much rain, what does Public Works do to what can y'all do and what do y'all do? The sound is off.
Yeah. No, Matt, we can't hear you. No.
His sound is on too.
Yeah, we can see you, but we're not hearing you, Matt.
Well, we're gonna keep it moving. Can't hear you, Matt. Can't hear you at all. You're connecting the audio. All right, try it now. No, we can't hear you. So we're gonna keep moving. But there's things that Public Works did, but everybody got hit with that flooding. I know Riverdale just had, I think, $8.5 million in infrastructure, and they still got hit with the flooding. So it was unusual rain that we experienced, and so that's something that when we get rain like that, Public Works they do come out here, and I wanted Matt to say what they actually can do and actually can't do. You know, but it's not so simple as open up a drain or pull up a valve to kind of relieve the flooding, the water. But everybody got hit. I hit people in South Holland, people I know in Harvey, all the surrounding suburbs got hit with this rain because it was unusual rain that we never had before. That is the end of my Public Works report. I don't know if Janice or the village administrator want to talk about what's going on with the stickers in the water department. So if they want to chime in on what's going on with the water department, I know the village was planned to reopen on Wednesday, but I don't know if with everything that's going on with the looting, if we're going to reopen Wednesday. But that is something that the village administrator or Janice can chime in on if they want to.
Any comments?
Any comments? Janice, village administrator.
Hearing none, I want to jump in on two points. One is on the flooding. I would say it was a heavy flooding. I want to give kudos to Public Works because I did reach out to them, and it was during a weekend, which is not the usual hours, but of course we know when emergencies don't follow normal hours either. They did respond, and I would say within 2 to 3 hours, most blocks. I hadn't heard any other reports or any concerns of flooding beyond that time frame. So I think that was a pretty good turnaround time. I think some of it subsided on its own, and some of it they had to do a little bit of extra work. So I did want to kind of jump in and compliment the Public Works team for their energy and efforts around that. As it relates to the, you mentioned, was it the village stickers were scheduled to be on sale today. I don't believe we received our stock in today, so there were some people that were unable to get the village stickers, but to my knowledge, those are set to be in this Wednesday. So barring any interruptions, those should be available for sale on Wednesday. If I misstated, please somebody correct me. If not, then I think we'll all move forward with that as the gospel, and we'll have a lot of residents beating down our doors on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Still your report, sir.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have a question.
Yes.
With that being said, that we are opening Wednesday, since the stay-at-home order has been lifted, are we resuming our hours 9 to 5 every day, or are we still going to be on the 10 to 2?
9 to 5, from what I've received, 9 to 5, beginning Wednesday will be the schedule, barring any adjustments that need to be made according to day-to-day updates with rioting and other stats. But as it stands today, 9 to 5 is the expected time frame.
Is that 9 to 5 Wednesday only, you said?
Wednesday and moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
And then from my understanding that there's still, even though it's open up, the social distancing rule is still in place, and then no more than 10 people at a time. So there's still going to be guidelines moving forward.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Trustee Steve,
I'll be recognized.
Trustee Holmes.
Yes. You know what? I also want to recognize and take my hats off to, and shout out to my head, not my heart, to the Dalton Fire Department, because they have responded to so much during that flooding, and then also doing some of this attempted and some of this looting, they were very helpful in getting to some of the crime scene because we had accidents, and then they played a big part in responding to some of that emergency too. So we also have to look at our Dalton Fire Department too. And thank you.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Trustee Steve, we're still on you.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to Melanie Fitness Center. As we know, Melanie Fitness Center is still down. We actually have on the agenda today, I want to hear from the board as far as the sale of the Melanie Fitness, but it is still closed. And I expressed to the staff, even when you hear that they lifted they can open gyms right now, it's just personal training. But even when they open the gyms and with more than, you can't do 10 or more people, we can't even, we're already behind. We were already subsidizing the place, even though we were getting out that hole. To reopen it, it's just too much of a liability to reopen right now. So we're still in the phase, but we're still looking at it. But that's why I have on here today, selling the Melanie Fitness. However, the Detox Cafe, she has her business license and she's about to renew her business license. She will be opening up, but it's not going to be, nobody can go inside. She's going to be doing stuff, curbside pickup. You can just go there, she'll have it. You can just pick it up and you keep it moving. So there won't be nobody inside the gym. But as far as Melanie Fitness Center, it is going to be hard pressed financially with the financial condition of the village moving forward with the COVID to even find the money to really reopen it when the rest of the state opens. So we have to be mindful of that. And that's why, we can discuss it more when that item comes up at the agenda. But that's the update of what's going on in Melanie Fitness.
A question, Trustee
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
With that being said, she's opening. I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem. With that said, with that being open, we will be resuming collecting rental from that property, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And like not the property and the business license fees.
Okay.
I think Trustee Henry, you have a question?
Yeah, Tammy was in my head. She hit it dead on. I had the same thought. I was like, she gonna open up and still pay rent? Go ahead, girl. Yeah, had the same thought. So thanks.
Okay. So then we're gonna go with that. That concluded your report, Trustee Steve?
Yeah, that concludes our report, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. Next thing up is our corporate bills. So I'm gonna read them off. We have two sets of bills. One is our physical checks that we issue to vendors. The other one is our electronic payments that come out. So I'm going to read off the warrant list, which is our corporate payments register number 165 with payments of $601,019.63. Gross payroll May 8th, $335,890.56. Gross payroll May 22nd, $325,635.36. Melanie Fitness Center register 165 of payments of $4,694.67. Gross payroll May 8th, $3,851.19. Gross payroll May 22nd, $889.69. Total corporate payments of $1,271,981.10. That's payroll payment register 165. I'm going to ask if we join that one for vote and discussion with payments register 164, which has corporate payments of $72,330.12. Water fund register 164, payments of $299,982.86. So total corporate payments on 164 is $372,312.98. And I would motion that we collectively pay the warrant list 164 and 165, and I'm asking for a second. I think you were seconding, Trustee Henry, but I didn't hear you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the warrant list?
I have questions.
Okay. Trustee Denton?
Yes, sir. I have a question in reference to something that's on the register that's been on prior registers that we never got an answer to this question. There's a company on page 4 titled Core Consulting Group. That was also on the April 6th warrant list. And we never got an answer as to who are they. And I assume we never paid that from the April register because it has doubled on this register. Core Consulting Group. Does
Okay.
anyone have an answer for that?
I can answer who they are, but I did notice the double payment. So I want to ask Chris, because it's 2 months worth. Core Consulting is our IT consultants that do all of the infrastructure. They set up our telephones, the network, and the laptop. So you may know Derek Blocker
Yeah.
in the Village Hall. That he's one of the employees of Core Consulting that makes sure that if we have technical issues, and I believe he's on here, he's just quiet. So I don't think he wants to have his face shown right now. But that is our IT consulting group. I did notice that this month we have 2 months worth of payments, and I believe that was on our last month's warrant list. So I asked Chris if you can kind of chime in on, did something happen for this to double, or were we looking at something different?
Give me 1 sec. I'm looking. Trustees, I don't see Core Consulting on last month's billing.
I was on the April 6th packet for the warrant list.
Okay, April 6th.
On page 5. No, I'm sorry. This is March. Yeah, so it popped up with the packet. It's dated Thursday, March 26th, register 161 warrant list.
So that's for February. They are a monthly fee. So the April 6th packet, that was for February services. The June 1st is for March and April services.
So it doubled?
So in the June 1st, you're paying for for March's services and April services. That's why you didn't see an invoice on last billing on the May 4th.
Got it. Okay, I got it. Thank you. It just looked strange that it would double in price, and I couldn't focus on what that was all about.
Okay. Yeah, any other questions, Trustee Denton?
Well, there's some tree cutting that's getting outrageous. I don't understand that one either.
Oh, the tree? No,
Yes.
the Pekarsky and Sons is a carryover from previous bills because while we were talking about the amount, because that exceeded our budget, we were not moving forward with making a payment on that until we had a procedure in place, which is being discussed at the Finance Committee meeting. I have had conversations with Chris, and we will put out that process that we have or that we've discussed for the Finance Committee as well as for the board. This Wednesday, it would have been last week, but the committee meeting did not occur. So I'm okay with moving forward with payment of that, as it's been a holdover for some months, and we are behind in paying them.
But we are over budget because we were budgeted for only what, 50,000?
We budgeted approximately 75,000, and I think the spend with that one put us at about 130 to 140,000.
Exactly.
And that was the reason for the holdup on issuing the payment, to make sure that we had a process in place, and that process we're going to discuss at our finance meeting. And if everybody on the board is in agreement, we'll move forward with that, or we make the necessary adjustments.
So are we to vote on paying it when we decide to pay the corporate bills tonight?
Included in the corporate bills, I've made the motion to pay it. But if anybody's in disagreement, we can vote no. You can vote no. And if there's not enough votes, we'll take the vote absent that item.
Okay,
but the
thank
vote
you.
we're taking will include that payment.
Thank you.
Okay.
May I be recognized, Mayor Pro Tem?
Okay, Trustee Holmes.
Hey, and moving forward with this tree trimming and tree cutting, you know, let's as board members meet with Public Works, Matt, and see how we can keep this in-house or how we can get the equipment instead of paying out so much to outsiders when we have a Public Works department that may can do this on the inside and we can save money. So I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. Matt, yeah, any comment? I'm gonna see if we got your audio working with us. No, we're still not able to hear you. Okay, I'll ask maybe if you want to join us at the finance meeting, and hopefully we'll have the audio issues and we can further that discussion. Okay, I believe Trustee Henyard had a question, but she appears to have dropped off. Any other questions from the board? Okay, if Trustee Henyard rejoins, then we will give her the opportunity. If not, we will go ahead and call the roll. Clerk Dugan, are you with us? I think it's one of those days. We're gonna send out the wellness checks in a moment. Because we gotta look out for each other.
I don't know what's going on.
Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and take the roll, and then we'll do our best to, well, this is being recorded. We'll ask that the clerk use that for her notes, her minutes. So the motion to collectively pay warrant list 164 and 165 was motioned by Trustee House, was second by Trustee Henyard. And the roll is going to be Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House is aye. Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
And Trustee Henyard. Once, twice. Trustee Henyard is not with us, so we will move on to the next item, which is old business resolution number 20R003, authorizing the intergovernmental agreement with Riverdale, South Holland, Thornton Establishment of Multi-Jurisdictional Task Force. I want to ask if I can get a motion for that to move forward.
I motion.
Motion
Second.
by Trustee Holmes. Second, was that Trustee Denton?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Trustee Holmes, second Trustee Denton. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we're gonna call the roll on that. Clerk Dugan, are you with us? Darn, I'm tired of hearing my voice. Okay, Trustee.
Oh, boy.
Clerk Dugan is just now getting back into the meeting, so you may check.
Okay, I will backtrack to give Trustee Henyard a moment with her question. We're gonna go, actually, we'll pause here, so since we have another vote. Hey, Trustee Henyard.
I am back. I don't know what's going on with y'all server, man.
No, you gonna blame the server, huh? That's what we do?
Yeah, because I went on another phone now. I was on the village phone and it froze.
Okay. We did move forward on the warrant list. So we did have a 5-0 vote. I am going to pause because we were in discussion, and I believe you had some questions on the warrant list. So I do want to give opportunity for those questions.
Yeah, I think it's page. Let me go to my notes. She asked about the tree. What did you say about the tree?
The trees. The vote included the tree cutting. So we did vote with the trees included in there. We do have a plan in terms of making sure that we don't go with budget in place that's going to be discussed further at the finance committee meeting. However, if you were in disagreement, the vote would have been no. The vote passed 5-0, but I'll ask you to give your official vote for the record. And
Okay.
You're on mute, Trustee.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, so the trees, was that included with the past due or this new? That's what I'm concerned about.
That's all past due. So each month
How much was the past due?
It was, I want to say it was 32,000, but let me get the exact amount.
32,000.
You got it, trustee?
Yeah, it was $32,540.
$40.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that was past due, carried over from the previous months, and the services were completed by the vendor in October of last year.
Okay. Now, as it relates to Melanie Fitness, my question is, do you know why the payment is so high for June? Because I noticed like in April it was $6,615. In May it was $3,155. In June it was $4,694. That's.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me why it's so high?
You say, give me those numbers again. Most of it was payroll, the first payroll, which was May 8th. Chris, you can let me know, was that the payout of some employee benefits as people were laid off?
Yes, in both May 8th and the May 22nd payroll, there was a payout of an employee's benefits from the payroll for the gross general payroll, not the Melanie. I'm confused by the question. Are you guys asking about the Melanie's payroll or?
No. Tree cutting.
No.
Well, Trustee Henyard asked about the Melanie's register that it increased.
Right.
Okay.
So that the Melanie's register for payroll, that's the last payroll before all of the closing of the Melanie took effect. Because as a reminder, payroll is a few weeks behind the pay date.
So we shouldn't see any more payouts for Melanie. Is that what we at? The 4,000, basically almost $5,000 for June?
For Melanie, it should only, I believe there's only 2 employees still working at the Melanie. So moving forward for payroll wise, that should be the only amount that you're paying. So it looks like it's less than 1,000 per payroll.
Okay. Okay, and then my next question is, was there any raises given out?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Okay, and then gas. Okay, I was concerned about the gas. This is on page 1. It said like April, for instance, April we had $11,000, May $11,000, June $7,000. So I was trying to understand why the bill be so high if we got smaller vehicles. Come on.
I don't, can you reference which vendor and what dollar amount?
Petroleum, what is it? $7,750.98.
That's the fuel that the village purchases for the vehicles.
Right. Okay, but you don't know the reason. You can get back to me with it. I just want to know that. I got 2 more, and then I'm done. Where am I at? You know how I feel about the supply stuff. So page 3 for Menards, I was just trying to wonder, like, what was the supplies? And maybe you can get that to me. That's all I cared about. Because you just got supplies on here and then they got the amounts. Because you know how before we had some on the PW and it was for gloves and masks.
So let me make sure I understand what you're asking me so that way I can get you your answers. You would like a description of, for the ones that are labeled supplies, what that relates to?
Yes. And the last one is for page 5.
1 second.
You can answer this, or Trustee Steve's. It's for Muhammad Enterprising. It got video editing, but it has $1,350, but it has 3 different amounts. So one for $500, one for $550, one for $300, both video editing.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Okay.
The camera person that we hired, that's he invoices individually. So when he comes out and shoots something and edits something, he submits the invoices individually. Not good enough answer?
Okay, you said he submits the invoice individually, but why is it different editing prices? Like 1-300, 1-500?
Sometimes edit jobs may take longer than the other. Every video is different. Sometimes a video may take longer to edit, sometimes it may take longer to shoot. Every video is not the same length. It doesn't require the same amount of time, or sometimes it's longer.
All right, Trustee
Trustee, can I chime in? I had problems with my phone. Been having issues with my cell phone.
Okay.
So the stuff that you see for the supplies from Menards, that is, and you'll see on their plexiglass and stuff, that is so that we could make Village Hall safe for the residents and for the employees. So we have that shield, that the plexiglass or those shields. If you come to Village Hall, you will see the shields that are up and the plexiglass and all of the rivets and things that we had to put in order to protect us, and preparing for opening up Village Hall. So that's what that's for. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Okay, yeah, I heard you. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you done yet?
Any other questions, Trustee Henyard?
That was it. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Mayor Temp, I have a question.
Trustee Holmes, question?
Yeah, I want to piggyback on something I want to ask Trustee Hinder. Trustee Hinder, is there any indication, you had mentioned about a pay raise? Is there any indication that someone got a pay raise at this time, and we're in this crisis right now that you know of?
Well, that's what I heard. So I was trying to get it cleared up that some individuals got raises because we don't do a payroll. So I was just making sure that I didn't miss it. So they're saying for the record that no one got a raise is what they're saying. So I'm just making sure that no one got a raise because we did do layoffs.
Okay. Well, long as it's on the record, they saying that no one didn't. But I'm hoping that no one got no raise, and then we going through this layoffs, and then somebody got a raise. I mean, that would be wrong. But thank you anyway.
You're welcome. No problem.
Trustee Henyard, I just requested some of the payroll records as well. I'm going forward. I'll be looking at some of those. So if you can email me any individuals that you would like further clarity, I can forward the reports to you as well.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So y'all not sure if someone got a raise. You're not sure.
No, I haven't heard of any. Chris has said there's none, so I'm going to assume there's none. But I want to make sure we have paperwork that confirms what we're saying.
Okay.
Trustees, I want to make sure I'm clear that from the way I understood your question, you were only asking for this payroll. Now, previous payrolls, and I don't know the exact date of when those raises were. So if you're asking for previous to the crisis or that point, I'd have to check into if there were any raises, because I don't know for certain if there were prior to this crisis. So if you're asking in the last year or so, I cannot guarantee the answer to that, if that's your question. I thought you only meant this payroll.
I think I can't answer for Trustee Hinder, but to my knowledge, I may be wrong, but I think she's maybe saying recently, and I don't think if she's talking about last year, then that's different. But I think she may be talking about within a month, 2 months, 3 months of doing this crisis. So I don't know. Trustee Hinder can answer that one.
Yeah, I am. I'm talking about recently, like now. Like you can get me from January to now, basically. That'll be 6 months.
So I will run a report to see from January through now if there was any raises to any staff. Now, I want to verify I understand. You're only talking non-union required longevity bumps or those types of things, correct?
Yeah, I'm looking for any raise. Anybody got a raise in the Village of Dog, any employee, police officer, fireman, building department heads, anybody.
Okay, I will run a report and I will see if I can get it to you either by the end of this week or by the end of next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna bring back Clerk Dugan.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, for a moment we lost you and we lost we lost Trustee Henyard. I'm giving you another title, Trustee. So we did do a vote for the bills, but we backed up to capture Trustee Henyard's questions. So we had a 5-0 vote on the warrant list. Would you advise that we redo the vote, or should we take trustee Henyard's vote now for the record? How should we proceed?
If you could just confirm for me the vote on the corporate bills.
On the corporate bills, trustee House made the motion. Trustee Henyard seconded the corporate bills. And then we went to discussion. During discussion, we lost trustee Henyard for a moment. And the vote was 5-0. And then trustee Henyard was able to reconnect back into the discussion.
Roll call on corporate bills. On that motion, that trustee Denton. If you could just review that for me, I'm sorry, I did not. I was not in. So to approve the corporate bills that you just described. Motion by trustee House, second by trustee Head. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you can still hear.
Okay, clerk, we're having a kind of strained hearing you.
Yeah, the same. On that motion to the corporate bills that you said is 5-1?
5-0.
5-0, okay. That makes it a lot simpler. Trustee Steve, trustee House. Trustee Brown. Trustee Holmes.
I heard you reference trustee Brown, but I didn't.
I see 6 trustees, so bear with me.
Yeah, we were missing trustee Henyard's vote, but she just reconnected. So we can take her.
So maybe we can try her in.
Okay, aye. No, it's done.
Okay. So with that, I think we lost the clerk. I'm going to move back into where we are. Resolution number 20R003. We had a motion and a second for the intergovernmental agreement. During discussion, there was no initial comment. Trustee Henyard, did you have any questions on old business item A?
No, we discussed it previous meeting. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. If Clerk Dugan is with us, I'll ask that she call the roll. If not, I will move forward. Okay. On the roll call, we'll go trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House is aye. Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay, 6-0, the motion passes. Next thing on our agenda is the board direction regarding the TIF District 300 West Sibley. I believe Attorney Murphy, did you have an update for us on this one, or was this somebody else that listed?
No, this is me. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. This relates to the matter that trustee Henyard brought up in the earlier general comment about a potential developer. Please recall, we have a settlement agreement with Mr. Michaels Corporation. And under the settlement agreement, once we've gotten this property exempted from taxation, we are obligated to go through the process to create a TIF district. Now, a TIF district is very important once we create it, because this will provide a vehicle for the village to give appropriate incentives to the right retail developers. So the issue of a potential developer is fine, but we've got to move forward on the TIF now. So to some extent, the board does not have to vote on this, because we've already voted on it when we approved the settlement agreement a couple of years ago. But I just wanted to make sure the board understands that now is the time for us to move forward with getting this property in TIF status, which will take a few months. The preliminary work was done by the consultant. That needs to be freshened up a little bit, brought up to date, which shouldn't be particularly challenging. Then we'll go through the public hearing process. So I want to make sure the board has a clear understanding that these two aspects of the 300 West Sibley matter, one, a developer, and two, getting the TIF in place, are really two pockets of the same pair of pants. So does anybody have any questions about the TIF process that we need to begin now?
But I'm going to yield to anybody that has a question first.
Yeah, I got a couple questions, Attorney Murphy. I'm trying to understand, where are we at with that process? You say it's gonna take a couple months. Can you elaborate?
Yes, in order to get property approved for TIF, there has to be what's called an eligibility study. We had at the consultant, this company, Kane McKenna, do a preliminary eligibility study, which concluded the property was eligible for TIF. That eligibility study was done probably a year ago, and the consultant needs, as part of its due diligence, to bring that study up to date. Once that gets done, then the board will start the public hearing process, which we could pass the ordinance setting the public hearing process hopefully as early as next meeting. We have to have a public hearing, and we also have to have a meeting with all of the taxing bodies who cover that property in order to demonstrate to the taxing bodies that this property is eligible for TIF. The timing on this was all negotiated. It's very important because now that the village owns the property, all future property tax revenues will be captured by our TIF district, which gives us the ability to provide solid incentives over the years to a potential developer of the property. This is all spelled out in the settlement agreement. So now is the time to do it under the agreement. Trustee Henyard, anything else? Hello?
I think that may have concluded Trustee Henyard's question. Any other questions from the board?
No, I wasn't done. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I understand the steps so I don't have to keep bringing it up. So
Yep.
basically you're saying that you're working on the process of it as we move forward, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is there anything you need from the board? I thought today we had to vote on you moving forward. Is that
No.
not true?
It's not true because it's in the settlement agreement. One of the reasons that one of the things we have to get straightened out is that the consultant hasn't been paid for its work yet. Kane McKenna needs to be paid in order to complete the process. So with the board's approval, Jason will put that maybe on your committee meeting for Wednesday because that is a very stale bill.
How much more do we owe? Did we not put down a deposit when they started the work?
We did not put down a deposit, and the consultant's fee is about $6,000. Now, looking ahead, when I say looking ahead, this is looking at a couple of years when a new development is in place, and generating property taxes, the village will be able to reimburse itself, pay itself back for anything we lay out at the front end. So what we're paying now out of our general fund to pay for the consultant, once the TIF is in place and generating property tax revenues, the TIF fund will repay the village's general fund. Now, again, that's not a today or tomorrow thing. That's a year or 2 year thing, but we will be made whole for, when I say we, I mean our corporate general fund will be made whole for this advance.
Yeah, so
Okay, so
okay, Trustee, go ahead.
Okay, so you're saying by next board meeting, so that's a month for us to vote, correct? I heard you say you're gonna put it in Jason's committee as it relates to the funds, but then it's a month to move forward, correct?
Yes. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Because the consultant has to bring this eligibility study up to date, which will take a few weeks. And we have to have the eligibility study completed and available for public inspection before we start the public hearing process.
Okay, two questions. Because one on the payments for the consultant. I don't remember that ever coming on the warrant list. Have they submitted a request? And I don't think we've ever held that request. So I'm trying to see what happened with the delay on that.
I don't know. They did submit a bill. I forwarded on to the village. I can't comment on that, but they've been obviously very patient.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's never been held off of a warrant list. So
Yeah.
if Chris, if you could double check and see if we have that bill or what we need to do, because I know that was already voted on by the board to move forward and comply with the order. So we just want to find out where it is. And I don't know if that's something for tonight, but we want to get to that as quickly as possible. Second thing, Attorney Murphy, if you can, would it be possible to put together like a one-page document that just kind of outlines the timeframes, whether for the consultant, where we're at in terms of steps? Because I think if we just had that documented that we can refer back to, it may make it clearer for the owner of the property, for the board. So that way, every time God forbid, if we have to come back to it, we can look at the document and say, this is a 3-month process. The next thing is a 1 month, and this is where we're at.
I'll do that. I'll talk to the consultant tomorrow to see how long it will take them to freshen up the eligibility report.
Okay.
Okay. I had another question, trustee.
Okay.
Okay. Attorney Murphy, what I'm trying to understand is we voted on this about a year ago, the entire board actually, to basically start this process and also pay that company. And that's what the board was under the impression of, that they got paid and they was working on this process. Now you're stating they did not get paid?
They worked on the process over a year ago. So they did their work.
Without getting paid?
Well, they trusted us. And we're going to make them good, but they need to, their study said that this property, by virtue of it being abandoned, et cetera, lack of proper maintenance, was eligible for TIF treatment a year ago. They have to say that as of the summer 2020, it's still eligible. Now, in my mind, that should be an easy one because nothing's been done with this property. It's still in the same substandard shape it's been for several years, but it's part of their professional responsibility to have a current report.
Okay, so when you say current report, do we have to pay them again for another report?
If we do, it won't be very much because all they have to do is go out to the site, eyeball it, and make sure the conditions are the same, and then, submit a report. I'll get an estimate from him how much that will cost.
Okay, so I guess my concern is, why did we hold on this long if it's gonna cost us more money and not get that report from them?
Yeah, we didn't hold on. In order to make this deal work, in accordance with the settlement agreement, the village had to complete the process to acquire the property, wait out the period for redemption, and then obtain a property tax exemption for the property. That takes a lot of time. And as I mentioned, there's the benefit to the village and to the property owner for doing this is that property was burdened with close to $1 million in back taxes based on non-payment for several years. Part of the agreement was for the village to take what action we'd had to take in order to get the back taxes wiped off, because with that back tax burden, nobody in their right mind would ever buy that property.
Okay, and who do the public notice? Is that Mary Kay? Who posts that, or when do we post the public notice?
The board, all right, let's back up and I'll give you the schedule because this stuff is hyper technical. The eligibility study is updated. Then the village adopts an ordinance which will trigger the public hearing requirement and what's called, Trustee Henry, remember I just mentioned this meeting with all the school districts or all the taxing bodies? That's called the Joint Review Board meeting. So the ordinance that the board adopts will have the whole schedule and the requirements for Joint Review Board meeting, public hearing, and the like. Those ordinances have been drafted. Again, they just need to be updated. So it'll lay out the schedule. It's a 60 to 90 day schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully, let me just make one other point. Hopefully, when we get to the point of the public hearing and the Joint Review Board hearing, or not hearing, joint review board meeting with the various taxing bodies, most importantly, the school districts. Hopefully we'll be able to do this face to face, which is much more, as we maybe learned tonight, much more efficient.
Definitely.
So, Mr. Chairman, two things. I'll reach out to the consultant, and also I'll set forth a kind of a plain English potential schedule for the board.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, we're going into new business. Item A, approval of a retirement agreement for Manning. I'll make the motion that we approve the retirement agreement. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, it's motioned and seconded. We'll see if our clerk is with us. Clerk Dugan, once, twice. We're gonna move into discussion. Any discussion on this item? Hearing no discussion, I'm gonna call the roll. Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House is aye. Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
And Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay, 6 ayes, the motion carries. Next thing on the agenda is
Mr. Chairman, I think there were 2 or 3 votes out of the Henyard household, so that should only be one.
It was.
we got the most important one. Okay, next up, sale of the Melanie Fitness Center.
Yes.
Trustee Steve.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to make a motion to sell of the Melanie Fitness, and we can go to discussion.
Second. Okay, so being motioned and seconded, do any discussion?
Yes, yes.
All right, Trustee Steve.
As we know, since I've been in office, I've been passionate about Melanie Fitness, but with this COVID-19 is really hit the whole village hard, the whole country hard, but the reality of opening it up and with the finances that we have is not looking good. So there's 2 things. We have an appraisal already, but that was from 2017. Instead of paying for another appraisal, which is about $3,000, I would like to just call the people to update the appraisal that we got in 2017. And I'll give us an updated appraisal. And I say we put it on the market. We give it a timeline, maybe 30 to 45 days to see if we get any hits. And if we get any hits, we just have them come to the board meeting, present what they want to do, sell on a good price, and see if we can sell it. Because the main reason I say I want to do this, because I would like to sell it to somebody who wants to maintain a gym, because it's just a lot on the village to maintain a gym. So if we can get somebody that can maintain a gym and they can open it up before the village can, that will be good for the people who go over there on a regular basis, who depend on that place. Any input from the board?
Yeah, I got something for you. I know that we suggested selling it in, you said it was 2017 when we did the appraisal.
Yes.
I still agree with that. I think you should, or we should, reach out to the school board and also the park district. I know that was on the table back then. I don't know what their circumstances are now, but I'm pretty sure they can use grant money or different things to help fund the space for them, and it'll stay within our community and our residents can utilize it, especially the pool. That's a plus. So I'm willing to help you work on whatever plan is needed to keep it in our community. If not, then post it, because if you post it, you still got to pay fees, broker fees. So I don't know if you took that under suggestion, but I just think you should try within the community first before you outsource it for sale. Just my opinion.
I thought about that, and I know the park district talked about that, but I know the park district still, there's a lot of outstanding things with the park district financially with the village. So I know that may be hard, but I can go, of course, I have a relationship with Cleo and Lester Long, so I can at least have a conversation with them to see where they stand on it.
Yeah, but you also want to try our school district 205, 148, and 149. They all have kids that's into sports and activity, and then also people that use the pool for rehab. So I would try those different facilities, and then also what is this spot over here off Blackstone?
Aperion.
Aperion, there we go. Different places like that, or a senior facility that need a place for their seniors to basically work out at. I think that'd be a good push. Them some ideas that I had for it. I'm willing to help you try to make that work and stay within Dalton community.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
let me just mention one or two things in terms of sequence. I think it makes the most sense to have the same appraisal company do an updated appraisal. Typically, if they've done the legwork once, it'll be cheaper to get an updated appraisal. Then, as I mentioned before, if we get that appraisal, and if we ever get on the other side of this COVID thing and we can meet regularly on a face-to-face basis, we can go into closed session once we get this appraisal to kind of set a price, a minimum price for what we want and other sale terms. This is not really, you don't say what we're willing to accept in a public meeting, because maybe we can get a few dollars more. So I think if it's okay with the board sequentially, if Trustee Steve can reach out to the appraiser from a few years ago,
yes,
get that appraisal updated, get a number for it, report it back to the board. So in a way, this is kind of like the TIF thing to try to keep things moving, is to freshen up that appraisal, and then we can move forward. And then the board can talk about, minimum price and things like session, setting a minimum price. So I think really tonight, if this is really more of a consensus that if it's okay with the board, Trustee Steve and staff can go ahead, get the updated appraisal.
yes.
Okay.
And I'll get on that tomorrow.
Well, are we looking for a vote on that, or is it just more of a consensus?
Just a consensus.
Okay, well, I agree with the consensus as well.
100% in agreement.
Attorney Murphy, don't we have to get a vote to sell our property?
Oh, yeah, we're not voting to sell it tonight. We're just going to get an updated appraisal.
So we're voting on the appraisal, not necessarily the sale. Is that what you're stating?
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Because if we get an appraisal and then we get offers, but if the offers are way below the appraisal, then you may not want to sell.
Okay, but shouldn't we vote on both so that we don't have to come back to it for another vote for selling? We
No,
all
because
know that we have to vote on the price and whoever we're going to sell it to. I got that part, but I'm saying, how can he move forward if we didn't agree to sell it? We're just agreeing to the appraisal.
If the board wants to take a vote to move forward with the sale of the Melanie, but I just want to make sure everybody understands there's a lot to do still.
Attorney Murphy, would it be possible that we vote on a request for proposal so that we can do the appraisal and receive letters of interest without committing to a price on the sale?
Let's get timing on the updated appraisal, because typically we get an understanding of what the market might be. When we go out, we would set a minimum bid.
Okay. All right. Well, I think
we want to chase away the people who are just, kicking the tires.
Okay. All right. I think we're all in agreement on moving forward with the appraisal. Any other questions, comments? Okay, hearing none, well, that closes off the new business section. The next thing up is the mayor's report. Our mayor gave his report at the beginning. I think is there any comments maybe from our administrator or anybody else from the team that they may want to chime in?
Actually, I wanted to chime in on one thing since you brought up the RFP. So back on May 13th, I sent out an email basically attaching the forensic audit and the internal control as requested by Trustee Henyard. And I was at that time in the email to everyone, I said, please review and let me know if there are any changes or additions that you would like to make before I put out the request for proposal. So that's just a reminder, Trustee Henyard and any other trustees, please look it over because I do want to get it out. I know I spoke to Trustee Henyard some weeks ago. And please, if you can, just look it over and let me know because I want to make sure it's to your specifications before I send it out, please.
And yes, I did. I looked it over. I have 4 items that need to get added on it. So I can call you after this call and we can go
Or
through
if
it.
you can call me tomorrow, that would be great.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions, good of the group? Hearing none, we have citizens address, so I'm gonna ask if
I'm sorry, trustee. At
Yes.
the bottom of that agenda, we have the retirement for Daniel Manning.
Yeah, we did that one.
We did it. Oh, and you voted on it.
Yes.
Okay, I was disconnected during that time, and I must have been. Okay, perfect. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, so that's Giovanni, if you can chime in with any questions that come up and bringing back up the questions from earlier.
Okay, all right. Is the curfew still in effect? Why are all businesses not closed at 9 p.m.? And also, since businesses have been affected, what is the chamber going to do to support businesses during this time?
Okay, so the curfew is still in effect. Why our businesses are not closed? They should be closed. So if they have not been, then that's something that we need to inform to our police chief that to enforce it, because there's no reason that they should still be open. The Chamber of Commerce is a separate entity from the Village of Dalton. We did suspend and will ultimately cancel the enrollment into that from the Village of Dalton perspective. And that would be a question that they would need to reach out to the chamber and ask what kind of activities they have upcoming. Individually, I would say a lot members of the board do their things to try to support the business, mayor and all trustees on the board. So from the village, we will try to come up with creative ways to support our business community returning. So as we get on the other side of this, I'm sure there will be a lot of things that board members will do. However, the chamber is a separate entity, so we can't speak for what they will do.
Okay. Do we think the businesses in the neighborhood that were affected will remain open? I'm sorry, will reopen and remain in Dalton?
We don't know that.
So I'll see if anybody chimes in. I think each business is going to be different. So my opinion, and I'll ask any board member if they have one differently. Those that can probably will, and I think the board will do everything that we can to facilitate a good environment for the businesses to come into. However, everybody's finances are different. So it will be a decision that each business owner has to make for themselves. Any other board members have comments or have heard anything specifically to those businesses infected or affected?
Okay.
Okay.
Next question, has there been any looting of homes?
None that I have heard of, but I don't speak with our police chief regularly. So I think that's one that the mayor communicates a lot more with. I don't know if Trustee Holmes may have some feedback or anybody else on the phone. I say phone on the meeting.
No, there hasn't been any looting of homes that has been that we know of, but we still ask in all blocks and neighbors just to be mindful to keep it out, not only on your property, but the neighbor's property too. But there has been reports of looting of homes.
Okay, next question, please.
All right. Is Dalton extending the vehicle sticker?
We have, well, today was the first day for the vehicle sticker. Since we are behind by a few days, it's possible that decision hasn't been made yet. So by the next board meeting, we could do an update of what's happening with any possible vehicle extensions. Assuming that we have it on Wednesday, which it looks like we're on track to, we will have been 2 days behind, so we could consider a 2-day extension of the vehicle sticker. If it goes longer, I think we should match the duration of time that we've inconvenienced the residents.
Okay. There's another question, but you just answered it. It was, when can seniors purchase their stickers, which you just answered. The next question is, will the juice bar reopen at Melanie Fitness, and what are the plans?
Trustee Steve, did you hear that question?
Yeah, I read that question. I answered that question, but yes, we will reopen. You'll hear about it. It'll be announced It'll be on the social media pages and stuff like that. But it will, when it's open, it's going to be a curbside pickup. It's not going to be come in and sit down. Curbside, you come pick up your juices, whatever you get, and she's just taking orders. But yes, it will reopen.
May I ask a question to Giovanni?
Sure, Trustee Dan.
What should a person sign on to be able to ask questions? Because I'm getting text messages that people are having problems getting a question. How do they get on to ask a question?
So all the questions are submitted via the chat box on our YouTube channel. So on YouTube, our channel, it shows that we're going live right now. And all the questions that I'm reading are from residents who have just entered their questions in the chat box.
Thank you.
Trustee Dan, I'm going to forward you a link that I sent to a couple of residents as well to be able to access it.
Okay.
Giovanni, next question, please.
Ooh. Sorry, my alarm.
Where our fire chief go? You need to be online right now. We got to get over there.
The smoke alarm I'm hearing over there.
That's what I thought I heard too.
I truly apologize. My home alarm is going off. Okay, I apologize. And back to the questions. The next question is, will the city host or announce a tax appeal seminar this year?
I'll ask if you can hold that question for the mayor and see if he'd be able to do an announcement for the residents, maybe through Facebook Live or a video in the coming days.
Okay, sorry for the delay. My alarm is having issues. Okay. Let's see. And that appears, yes, that is the last question that we have.
Okay. Well, with that being the last question, we're going to get ready. Clerk Dugan, you had a comment?
Well, my comment is, sir, that I'm back for the first time. Please forgive me. Technical difficulties have been demonstrated, but I'm here for that. So if there's a motion to adjourn, as I understood you, please correct if not.
We're going to move towards the motion to adjourn. I do want to just say it's a difficult time out there. So I ask everybody, look out for your neighbors, look out for each other, keep praying for the community, and we'll get stronger on the other side of this. With that, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
1 second, please. A last minute question came in.
Okay.
Are we in phase 3 of the governor's?
Yes.
Are we in phase 3?
Yes, we are in phase 3.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy to rejoin everybody to adjourn. There was a motion by Trustee House. Forgive me, second by.
I second.
Thank you, Trustee Holmes. Sorry, everyone, for dropping the screen and the video, the audio. I will do my regrouping. Okay, motion to adjourn at, goodness, please correct me, 40.
Wow.
5 p.m. Well, I'll figure that part out. Trustee Den.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House. Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Okay, we're good. Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay, I'll take that as an aye. Let's just go at
Clerk Dugan.
35 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone. And I hope I manage to pop up on the screen more regularly, should it be needed. But everyone stay safe. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you, Trustee House.
My pleasure.
Want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi.